Ah, there we go.
He's a fickle son of a bitch.
Review of Bleacher Report's top 25 urban legends in wrestling history.
I didn't read this, so you got to break it down for me.
I was waiting to read it myself. I haven't actually looked at it at all. Just number 25 has been staring at me because I have it opened here. Apparently, Bleacher Report has compiled the top 25 most taboo, kind of talked about urban legends ever in the business.
Go to top 5. Give me the top 5.
You want to go straight to the top 5? I'm going. No, actually, I'm not going anywhere.
Go faster.
Oh, top 5. Psycho Sid does his impression of the WrestleMania 13 main event.
What?
WrestleMania 13 will forever be known as the card saved by one match, Austin versus Hart. The otherwise mediocre card saw a plotting main event between The Undertaker and Sid, and the only noteworthy story from the match outside of Taker winning the title was the legend that Sid soiled himself during the main event.
Oh my God, I believe it.
Imagine what the tombstone would have smelled like. Number 4, Hulk Hogan's stories of Andre the Giant's size at WrestleMania 3. Hogan is filled with stories. No story was bigger than a tale he recently told of Andre the Giant being in excess of 600 pounds at the time of WrestleMania 3, where Hogan would eventually slam the Giant. As big as Andre was, this seems to be more legend than legit. Hulk Hogan is a freaking pathological liar.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
The guy's spewing baloney every time he opens his mouth. This is an urban legend. Kill it.
Number 3, Randy Savage and Stephanie McMahon's forbidden love. Vince McMahon seems to possess the ability to put aside personal matters for the sake of business, as the story of WWE is one filled with tales of redemption and reconciliation. However, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, is one of the few stars, and arguably the biggest star, never to have returned to WWE after leaving the company in '94. Maybe because he died. Legend has it that Savage had inappropriate relationships with a 14-year-old Stephanie McMahon, causing an irreconcilable rift between Savage and McMahon, which may or may not explain why he still has not been inducted into WWE's Hall of Fame.
Stephanie.
I believe the Macho Man went balls deep into Stephanie. Oh, yeah.
Stephanie, you gotta get some bigger boobies. Get some implants, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, legend number 2, the story behind the story behind HBK's first firing in WWE. Actually, I'd like to hear about this. HBK has been fired multiple times. Oh, no. One of the most historically relevant tales of an HBK firing involves Jimmy Jake Funk, not to be confused with Jimmy the Farmer, Jumpin' Jack Farmer. In an incident regarding Funk, Michaels, and Michaels' former tag team partner, Jannetty. Michaels himself says that he and Jannetty were at a gathering with their fellow wrestlers when Jannetty became rather close with a young lady who was at the gathering. Funk proceeded to egg on Michaels to drink, with Michaels declining. Refusing to let up, Funk insisted Michaels live up to his reputation as a party animal right then and there. Michaels claims to have smashed a beer bottle over his own head before everything went back to normal. The next day, Vince McMahon called both Michaels and Jannetty into his office and subsequently fired them on the spot.
Wow.
That actually is true, because I've heard Michaels tell that exact story in a shoot interview.
Dude, that's awesome. I wish they recorded that.
So Michaels was just going, he was going straight Michael Keaton on everybody.
Come on, let's get.
He did.
Picking up a beer bottle, cracking over the face.
Oh, all right.
Chinning himself.
This is a good one, because this one got me for years as a youngster. I always heard this one. Number 1, which is good. I like this one. We should have really went through it more in depth, but here it is. Number 1, the Ultimate Warrior and the legends and urban myths of his death. When the Ultimate Warrior made his shocking return to WWE at WrestleMania 8, much was made of his altered appearance. His hair was different. He would come out wearing skin-colored bodysuits that hid his shredded physique, which, by the way, I don't remember his his skin-colored bodysuits. We have to pull some of that out. And he just didn't look like the Warrior of old. Cue the rumors. These particular rumors report that the original Warrior may have died, prompting WWE to hire a stunt double to recapture the magic of the popular superstar's first run. Jim Hellwig, who is the Ultimate Warrior, who is still alive, has always been credited with the role of the Ultimate Warrior, and he even changed his name to Warrior. However, this myth was persisted throughout time and was even addressed during WWE's one-sided documentary, Butchering Warrior's Legacy. Wow. So this is a whole, is it, what the Beatles conspiracy here, and, my favorite, the Michael Jackson's death conspiracy. Is it a double? Is it really Ultimate Warrior this whole time? Did he die back in the 80s? And is this a replacement? I always heard that. I always heard Ultimate Warrior died in like a motorcycle accident. And, all these, the 90s era Ultimate Warrior was a double.
Well, Daniel, we gotta cut this down the line 50-50.
No, man, I don't know. Honestly, it's weird. I've never really heard this. Probably because I blanked out Ultimate Warrior out of my mind.
The WWF champion is going to be just like, you know what, brother?
To all the Hulkamaniacs and all the fans of the Warrior.
That's good stuff right there.
I don't know where this guy, dude, I don't know. I blocked him out of my mind. I remember sometimes I'd go into somewhere I'd say, yeah, you watch WB? Someone's like, yeah, I'm a big fan. And I'm like, oh, who's your favorite wrestler? Bret Hart, Michaels, Austin? They're like, Ultimate Warrior. I generally, my eyes go black. They roll in the back of my skull. I just drop dead, man. To me, that's a death sentence. I never really watched him. I mean, there are segments. Obviously, he did something at WWE, but he's a laughingstock, man. I watched that thing when everyone talked shit about him. Everybody, Edge, Christian, they were making fun of everything he did. I don't know. I believe it, man. If
we left him out last week of our greatest Intercontinental champions of all time. He's definitely in the list.
He was so goofy. Every single time I saw his promo, he didn't do much for me. I kind of buy into all the docs where they talk about this guy was something different. He should have been left on the streets.
Did they find him on the streets? I wasn't aware.
They might have. I don't know. I've seen the guy who's, like you said, who is a warrior. I forgot his name. But
Jim Hellwig.
Yeah. He looks like a man. I don't know.